It may seem pointless to still be grinding FIFA 22, especially considering FIFA 23 is just around the corner. Once that does release, we have to start this whole process again. Anything that you do within FIFA 22 does not carry over to FIFA 23 Ultimate Team. But despite all of this, I'm still putting in the work with FIFA 22, trying to get the players that I want within game. And if you're doing the exact same thing, I highly recommend following this cycle. Before I do get into the video, if you're looking to get some very easy coins, then there is no better place than Mule Factory. Head over there to get yourself some cheap, fast FIFA 22 coins, completely reliable, and if you use Fnatic 5 at checkout, you'll also get yourself a 5% discount. Link can be found in the description down below. Getting back into the video, I'm not gonna lie, my motivation for FIFA has dropped off massively. I no longer play as much as what I used to, and this is normal for this stage of FUT. I feel this way every single year. I still want to play FIFA and build my ultimate team, but with FIFA 23 news coming out and also leaks alongside of it, I just get hyped for the next FIFA. I want everything to just be completely fresh, not a completely dead market where everyone's got an insane team. I want to go back to the beginning. But with all of that said, I do still have some goals that I want to achieve for the end of FIFA 22. I want to be able to get as many of my favorite players in my club before the end of the year. And this is just because I know at some point within the future, I would like to come back to this game. And when I do that, I won't be able to use the transfer market. I will still be able to search, but there will probably be around 10 to 30,000 live transfers at the very max, and none of the good players in game are actually going to be listed. No icons, no high rated rare golds, no team of the seasons, no team of the years, just what you expect, mediocre players in game. Probably reaching a max of anywhere between 85 to 86, but no one particularly great. Very similar to if you went back to FIFA 21 at this point, you could search the transfer market and there are still players listed, but nothing good. The special cards that are available are a few team of the weeks, and then you start to go and get to any type of special card that would be bronze or even silver. And even then, they're limited. So at this stage, I always look to stack my club towards the end of the year because it gives me a goal. It gives me something to aim towards. I feel motivated whilst it's happening. It allows time to feel like it's going quicker because I'm actually pursuing something before FIFA 23 is released. And I also have the benefit of, if I do come back in the future, I will have a lot of players to use. I can just search my club and select the players that I want whenever. I don't have to worry about if they're listed onto the transfer market. And whilst I'm doing all of this, I'm not having to put a crazy amount of work in. I've started to put together a cycle that works for what I want to do, whilst it also still being extremely lazy. So the first thing that I am doing is still playing matches, but it's nothing like what I used to. I look back into the first week of FIFA 22's release, and with there being a 90 game match for the season, I managed to complete it within just 2 weeks. And that's not just dedicating time to division rivals. I was also doing squad battles, playing through friendlies, and also doing my FUT champions, going through the champions playoffs and also the weekend league. Now, I'm not doing hardly any of that, or at least I'm doing a fraction of that. I'm not playing competitively, so I'm not going into FUT champions, whether that be the champions playoffs or the weekend league, unless I do need recorded footage for a video. But it's rare for me to actually go through them. I even lowered the amount of games I was playing within division rivals for the last 2 seasons. This was because I didn't want to progress any further. I actually wanted to go back so that I can have some games in a lower division against easier opponents, less stress, more fun, and the only way to do that was to get relegated from those previous seasons. Last season I played about 20 games. This season I played a total of 9. And this has slowly taken me from Division 1 all the way back to Division 5. And now, hopefully, at the end, or by the time you're watching this video, I'll be back into Division 7. And once I am back into Division 7, I'm still going to play my matches. I'll probably get all the way back up to Division 3 again, relatively easy. But I will not go any further than that. And the way that I'm going to be dealing with it is just by playing a game, losing a game, playing a game and losing a game. But that is only once I get to Division 3. Anything beyond that, that's when things start to get a bit tougher. I start to lose more games against good opponents. Once I get into Division 1, that's when it becomes a complete sweatfest. I'm playing quite a few games, but for the last couple months, I've only been going through friendlies. Friendlies are great. They do only give you 500 coins at the very max if you finish the whole game, but 9 out of 10 times, you're probably not going to finish the game. There's just this rule within FIFA where if you go for a friendly and your opponent scores first, you must quit. If you score a first, they must quit. And this happens for most of the games. With how I'm playing right now with divisions and friendlies and how I will play next season with division rivals, it does mean that I'm completely stress-free. I don't have to worry about FIFA, don't have to look to win games. I'm not playing competitively. I'm just looking to have fun within game, and that's really all I want to do at this stage. It does give me coins, which brings us on to the next stage of me actually pushing towards the players I want to buy. Trading is always going to be a big aspect for me just because that's what I'm best at. But even now, I'm not doing anything like what I was doing at the beginning of the year with different types of methods. I'm not doing anything complicated, everything is simple. There's a lot of methods out there that do still work, and if you go back a few weeks, potentially even maybe 2 months ago, I did record a few videos showing you methods that will work during this stage, and those methods still work. But for me, I'm only using 4. This is bulk bidding, bronze method, silver method, and bronze pack method with it linking into SBCs. These are the only methods that I've been using, and it's because they're extremely easy with a very fast turnaround. And I want this because when I do go into a match, I want to play, have fun, leave, use one of these methods for 5 or 10 minutes. For example, the bulk bidder method, I just need to find a player, bid on 50, that's my watch list full, and there's nothing I can do until those players are expired. Very quick, same with bronze, silver, and bronze pack method. Once those 5 to 10 minutes are up, that is when I will go back into a game, and even though at the end of that match, I'm only getting 500 coins, hopefully during that time, a lot of those players that I did bid on have expired. That's when I can list them and just keep this cycle going. You'll then have players selling whilst you're playing matches, you'll have players expiring whilst you're playing matches, which can be listed later, and also you're having fun playing the matches, especially if you're like me and you've managed to relegate yourself all the way back to, well, this season or next season, this season by the time you're watching this video, back to Division 7. This is the laziest way that you could possibly play FIFA while still progressing. The methods aren't anything fancy, they could be done if you're a beginner, and with the matches, well, I have relegated myself quite a bit, so I should be getting much easier games. And with this cycle of just me continuously going through it, it's based on a build and buy cycle. My goal is just to buy the players that I want to buy and store them in my club. That does mean once I manage to reach the price of a player, I just buy them, store them to my club, and then start all over again. Let's say there's a player that I want to go and get, which is worth 50k. I'll trade to 50k. I will then also trade an extra 20 to 30k on top. So let's just say 70k in total. That way, once I buy that player for 50k, I still have coins left in my account ready for me to carry on doing and using the trading methods that I was using before. Once you go back down to 0, it takes a lot longer to build back up again. So I always want to have coins left into my account. The good thing at this stage as well is 90% of the players that I want are less than 100,000 coins. So it really doesn't take long. I could probably play 4 or 5 games, and for most of them, they are going through friendlies. And in between those games, I can trade and I can get up to a decent amount where I am able to buy probably 1 or 2 of these players every single day. And just to show you how good the market is right now, if you are looking to buy some high rated players, just go into the likes of Footbin, look for players less than 100,000 coins, and there's so many. There's about 15 pages worth of 90 plus rated players, and that's only less than 100k. Once you start to look at players worth between 100 to 150k, which I still think is affordable, most of you should be able to reach that price range using these methods without having to put too much time into the game. And you can still see there's about 6 pages, with those 6 pages still being good players. And that's the great thing coming towards an end of a FIFA. Yeah, you don't have as much motivation as what you had before, but everything is a fraction of the price. As long as you log in and do something, you will be able to buy into someone good. Doesn't need to be the best player within the game, doesn't need to be the highest rated players within the game, but you can still get something decent for a very small amount of coins in the grand scheme of things. 100k isn't difficult to get to. But anyway guys, this is pretty much all I will be doing between now and the end of FIFA 22. Let me know in the comment section down below some of your goals for the end of the year. Is there a certain player that you're trying to get, or are you doing something similar to me, or you're just trying to get as many good players as possible? Let me know in the comment section down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going to see ya.